This is Pragya Pandey from Rao's Academy for Competitive Exams Bhopal, and this is our special series on daily news review. In our previous video, I asked few questions, so let's see their solution first. And the first question was, who is the author of the book An Idealist View of Life? And the correct answer for this question is Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. The second question was, who is the patron-in-chief of the NALSA? And correct answer for this question is the Chief Justice of India. Third question was, who preached the new Vedanta philosophy? And correct answer for this question is Swami Vivekanand. So, without wasting any time, let's see what is in the news. 6th September, that is the death anniversary of Keshwananda Bharati. Keshwananda Bharati was the head of Ednir Math in Kasaragod, Kerala, who filed a petition against Kerala government decision to take over land owned by the Math. This was the famous and landmark case which is known as Keshwananda Bharati versus the State of Kerala 1973 case. There were some legal issues involved in the petitions. Those were as follows. Article 14 that talks about the equality before law. The state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or equal protection of the law within the territory of India. Article 19 clause 1 subclause F talks about the freedom to acquire property, but we should also remember that this particular article has been repealed by the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978. Whereas Article 25 talks about the freedom of conscience and free profession practice of propagation of religion. Article 26 talks about the freedom to manage religious affairs that subject to public order, morality and health. Every religious denomination or any of its section shall have the following rights. The first right is right to establish and maintain religious and charitable institution, right to manage its own affairs in matter of religion, right to own and acquire movable and immovable property, and right to administer such property in accordance with the law. Let's understand the judgment of the case. It was heard by a bench of 13 judges, that is longest in history of India, and decided by the ratio of 7:6. The apex court overruled Golaknath case judgment and held that parliament can take over or abridge fundamental rights, but certain principles are inviolable and hence cannot be amended. These principles are called basic structure. The basic structure is to be interpreted by court. Also held that preamble is a part of constitution. You can see the ingredients of basic structure here. September 6, 1899, birth anniversary of Sharad Chandra Bose. Sharad Chandra Bose was a Congress leader, lawyer and freedom fighter. He was brother of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He participated in the civil disobedience movement in 1930, and due to his strong involvement in the campaign, he was also detained for 2 years. Bose was associated with groups that supported socialism, including the Forward Bloc. He opposed the religious-based vision of Bengal and Punjab and left the Congress Working Committee as a result. He also advocated for the creation of United Independent Bengal and rejected the Mountbatten Plan. Later, he went on to establishment the Socialist Republican Party in 1947. 4 years of the historic judgment decriminalizing same-sex relation between consenting adults. The 5 judges bench led by the CJI Deepak Misra and including Justice A.M. Khanwilkar, D.Y. Chandrachud, R.F. Nariman and Indu Malhotra in the famous case of Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India 2018. The bench partially struck down Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code and recognized the right of LGBTQ individual to engage in consensual intercourse. The court has upheld provision in Section 377 that criminalize non-consensual acts or sexual acts performed on animals. Further, they found that Section 377 discriminate against individuals on the basis of their sexual orientation or gender identity. That violates the Article 14 and 15 of the Constitution. Further, they ruled that Section 377 violates the right of the life, dignity and autonomy of personal choice under Article 21. Finally, they found that it inhibits on LGBT individuals' ability to fully realize their identity by violating the right to freedom of expression under Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A. September 6, 1965, the day when India invades West Pakistan and marked the beginning of the Indo-Pakistani War. Pakistani troop initiated Operation Gibraltar with the objective to take control over Kashmir. Pakistan thought that the Indian army would not be able to defend Kashmir due to its defeat in 1962 Indochino War. But the Indian army retaliated and captured the Haji Pir Pass in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. On September 1st, Pakistan put into action its Operation Grand Slam aimed at capturing the town of Aknoor in Jammu, where Indian Army retaliated by attacking further south of the valley and successfully drove away the infiltrator from Kargil and also crossed the international border on 6th of September, which marked the official beginning of the war. The Indian Army captured certain areas in Lahore district of Pakistan, but the war ended after the UNSC called for an unconditional ceasefire from both India and Pakistan. Leader of Conservative Party Liz Truss was named as the new Prime Minister of United Kingdom. The 47-year-old leader beat her rival former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak. On the occasion of Teachers' Day, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi announced 14,500 new schools in the country under the PM Shri scheme of the government, whereas PM Shri stands for Prime Minister Schools for Rising India. These schools will be run by the central government on the basis on New Education Policy 2020. PM Shri schools will be different from KVs and Navodaya Vidyalayas, as KVs or Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya come entirely under the centre's Ministry of Education. They are fully funded by the union government under central sector schemes, while KVs largely cater to children of union government employee posted in states and UTs. JNVs were set up to nurture talented students in rural part of the country. In contrast, PM Shri School will be an upgraded of existing school run by the center, state, UTs and local bodies. This essentially means that PM Shri School can either be KVs, JNVs, state government schools or even those run by the municipal corporation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be renaming the revamped Rajpath and Central Vista Lawn on 7th September evening. The Rajpath will be also renamed as Kartavya Path. India's first LNG-fueled green truck unveiled by Blue Energy Motors near Pune. Anthem and mascot for the national games was unveiled by Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Gujarat is hosting the 36th national games this year from September 29 to October 12, 2022. Sawaj, meaning lion in Gujarati, was declared the mascot for the national game. It representative of India's cultural heritage. Further, it will also be a symbol of India's rapid growth, giving a glimpse of growing India, which is set to become a global leader again. Meanwhile, the anthem of the game encapsulating the philosophy of Judega India, Jeetega India. So it's a quiz time, and the first question is, in the Keshwananda Bharti case, which doctrine was propounded by Honorable Supreme Court? And the options are federalism, rule of law, basic structure and doctrine of lapse. The second question is, what will be the new name for Rajpath? Your options are Sanyapath, Atalpath, Kartavyapath or Veerpath. The next question is, in which of the leading case it was held by apex court that preamble is a part of constitution? And your options are Minerva Mills case, Keshwananda Bharti case, Golaknath case, Menka Gandhi case. The last question is, Sharat Chandra Bose was associated to which of the following political organization? And your options are Indian National Congress, Forward Bloc, Socialist Republican Party. So you all know the drill. Do comment the right answer in the comment section and stay tuned with us to know the correct answer. This is it for today. Join our batches for UPSC, MPPSC Civil Services examination. Seats are very limited, so hurry up. Thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to hit like button, comment your valuable feedback. Also press the subscribe button. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Links are given below in the description box. Thank you and see you tomorrow.